So you take a look at what happened in Flint with the water crisis. Absolutely tragic. The real tragic thing is there are tons of people that should be held criminally responsible for what happened, but they're never going to be held accountable.
Without naming
Yeah,
names, explain the criminal act
yeah,
within the Flint water crisis for our listeners.
absolutely. So what happened was when the prior Attorney General, prior to Dana Nessel, Bill Schuette, he actually charged multiple people in Flint for actually essentially violating the public trust and doing some things that were not quite so kosher or legal and holding.
Do you mind explaining what those things are? Because in
Yeah, so
generality,
so basically, not making sure that we had the proper rules and regulations followed, basically turning a blind eye. So we actually had this problem with Legionnaire's disease, and we had all these other issues that occurred because people didn't do their due diligence as required, being a worker over there or an employee in
for
Flint.
either the city, the county,
Right,
but not the state.
right.
Got it.
So all of those individuals, we had a mixture of them that were going to be charged, and they were charged. And then, of course, Dana Nessel's elected. And what ends up happening? Dana Nessel, for whatever inexplicable reason, but we'll hopefully get an answer, and I'll talk about how that can happen in a little bit, but she dismissed all of those cases. And then the statute of limitations ran out. These people who have been appropriately charged previously, they will never, ever legally be able to be held accountable. We're talking about the court of public opinion or, God above. That's a different issue. But legally in a courtroom, they can never be held accountable. And then to your point about Governor Snyder, they needed someone to go after. So then they spend tons and tons of money in order to try to prosecute him. And I believe there was another associate of his that they went after too.
Yeah, in fact, his case is still being resolved. If I'm not, I forgot the gentleman's name.
I forgot too, but he attempted, I think, to sue for his legal fees and everything.
Yes.
And then he got a negative decision recently, like in the past few weeks, from what I understand.
From our fairly balanced Supreme Court, I believe that decision came down.
Right.
Digressing.
Sure.
Before we get back to that
Yeah.
issue, because I think it's really important that people understand how abusive an attorney general can be.